What is going on with RFK Jr. today? It looks like all of mainstream media has decided to gang up on RFK, and that's what this video is going to be about. So Vanity Fair posted an article, and there seems to be two main pain points that people have a lot of trouble with. For one, this article talks about him potentially eating a barbecue dog, right? And another pain point is a sexual assault allegation from, an old babysitter. So we're going to talk about that. But literally, look how absurd this is. You type in his name, you go to the news, and all of these are just loaded with it. Look at The Guardian. RFK Jr. brushes off sexual assault allegation. I am who I am. Newsweek says RFK Jr. ate a dog. Photo appears to suggest no. Reuters, The Daily Beast, The New York Times, Chicago Sun-Times. And it all started with this Vanity Fair exclusive titled RFK Jr.'s family doesn't want him to run. Even they might not know his darkest secrets. Now, I'll be honest with you guys. I read this article. I like to give things a fair shot. I want to hear their story before I listen to, any rebuttals or anything. I want to look at the original piece before anyone tries to, say it's wrong or anything like that. So I read this piece the way that it was intended to be read. And I'll be honest with you guys, this piece looks like it was designed to paint RFK Jr. in a pretty negative light because of what happened last week with Biden and his devastating performance at the debates. And it looked like the article did exactly what Vanity Fair wanted it to do. It worked. This article is now everywhere, and every other publication is taking its own spin on it. The New York Post just shared unsettling photo appears to show RFK Jr. with barbecued carcass of dog. Now, I don't want to show the picture because I don't want YouTube to flag me for anything, but the picture is not hard to find at all. HuffPost even ran with this, and I want to talk about this because this article was just shared this morning, and the amount of other sub-articles that have been made from this primary Vanity Fair one is absolutely absurd. And it just goes to show how fast false information can travel, and we are seeing it happen in real time. Now, before we go any further, I do want to share what RFK Jr. has responded with regarding this allegation. So let's take a look.
Vanity Fair came out with a major profile today. I want to give you a chance to respond to this. There's a photo circulating, I believe, of you posing with what looks like a dog and also a barbecued dog. I'm not going to show the picture as a dog lover. I know you have pets yourself. And also a sexual assault allegation from one of your former nannies. So I want to give you a chance to respond to that.
The article is a lot of garbage. The picture that they said is of me eating a dog. It's actually me eating a goat in Patagonia on a whitewater trip many years ago on the Laifu River. They say there's an expert. They have an expert that has identified that as a dog carcass.
Yeah,
it's just not true.
And here's him again on Fox News discussing the same thing.
This Vanity Fair story, I want to give you an opportunity to address it, that has a picture of you holding up what looks like a carcass of a dog and pretending to take a bite out of it. It's getting a lot of attention. So I want to ask you if you want to explain that photo. Is that a cheap fake? Is that a real photo? What was going on there?
No, that is a real photo. It's of me at a campfire in Patagonia on the Laifu River eating a goat, which is what we eat down there. Vanity Fair said that they talked to veterinarians who assured them that it was a dog. That they had meta-analysis that showed that it was in Korea and that it was in Korea of me eating a dog. And that statement is emblematic of the entire article, of the lack of sort of journalistic standards throughout that article.
Okay. I'm glad we gave you the opportunity to address that. Robert F.
Now, I did want to fact check Kennedy real quick because he said that veterinarians have said that it's a carcass of a dog. It was just one, and I'm reminded of, those old commercials where they're talking about toothpaste and like, oh, 9 out of 10 dentists suggest this is a great toothpaste. Like, why only 9 out of 10? What does that one dentist know that we don't know? So in my mind, I'm imagining that they did actually ask other veterinarians, but other veterinarians didn't give the response that Vanity Fair wanted. So they went with the veterinarian that told them what they wanted to hear. So anyways, that could not be true. That's just the way that I'm thinking about it. And there it is. It wasn't a dog. It was a goat. And it wasn't in Korea, it was in the mountains of Patagonia. And another main pain point in the article discusses a sexual assault allegation from a former babysitter. Eliza Cooney was the babysitter's name. She was a recent college grad interested in working on environmental causes and had looked after Carrie and Max's children in Hyannisport that summer. Cooney moved into Bobby and Mary's family home in Mount Kisco, New York, taking care of the kids and assisting Bobby at his environmental law clinic at Pace University during the week. Part of the allegation discusses that Kennedy was touching her leg and hand at the dinner table. She said it was possible that he could have been on something, or he was really tired, or was missing Mary, or was testing me. That's from her diary, by the way. She also recounts a moment where Kennedy was standing in her bedroom, he was shirtless, and he asked her to rub lotion on his back. At the time, she thought, isn't Mary home? Doesn't she do this for you? She did it reluctantly and quickly thought it was totally inappropriate. And then she recounts another moment where Cooney was in the kitchen, siphoning through the pantry, looking for lunch, and she was in her sports bra and legging, and when Kennedy came up behind her, blocked her inside the room, and began to grope her. And Kennedy has responded to this part of the article as well.
And, in terms of the other allegations, I've said this from the beginning. I am not a church boy. I am not running like that. I said I had a very, very rambunctious youth. I said in my announcement speech that I have so many skeletons in my closet that if they could all vote, I could run for king of the world. Mm-hmm. So, this Vanity Fair is recycling 30-year-old stories, and I'm not, going to comment on the details of any of them, but I am who I am.
You're talking there about the nanny situation. I mean, I do have to ask her. I mean, are you denying it or not?
I'm not going to comment on it.
All right. Well, I gave you the opportunity, and officially it's a GOAT.
So there you have it. His official response is no comment. And before you go typing angrily at your keyboard in the comment section, let me just say this. This is President Trump's sexual misconduct allegations. All right, this is his Wikipedia page. Pretty long, right? And you know what? Joe Biden, he's not so clean either. Look at his list over here. Oh, man. Look at all these people. Jeez. No, none of it is right. None of it is okay. These women should have never experienced that. I'm with you. But Kennedy has never claimed to be perfect, and he even discussed that he has so many skeletons in his closet that if they could all vote, he'd win in a landslide. You know what I was just reminded of? I was just reminded of this beautiful moment in the scriptures where Jesus interrupts people as they were about to torment by throwing stone at a woman who was committing adultery. And this starts in John chapter 8, verse 6. He says, "This they said to test him, that they might have some charge to bring against him. Jesus bent down and wrote with his finger on the ground. And as they continued to ask him, he stood up and said to them, 'Let who is without sin among you be the first to throw a stone at her.' And once more he bent down and wrote on the ground. But when they heard it, they went away one by one, beginning with the older ones. And Jesus was left alone with a woman standing before him. Jesus stood up and said to her, 'Woman, where are they? Has no one condemned you?' She said, 'No one, Lord.' And Jesus said, 'Neither do I condemn you. Go, and from now on, sin no more.'" I think it's so easy to want to throw stone at one another. Like, we see it here. Like, it's human nature to want to paint people in the worst possible light, to say that you've done this, so therefore you cannot do that. But I think we need to elevate the conversation. I think we need to be better. We can't ignore the fact that some people aren't perfect, and people have made mistakes, and people have a past that they're not necessarily proud of. I don't think we should necessarily ignore those things, but I think we should be extending grace to people and say, you know what, you're not perfect. I'm not going to claim you're perfect, but I still believe that you have the capacity to do something great. That's my take. Let me know what you think, and have a good day. Hey everyone, thank you so much for watching and listening. I appreciate your time so much, and I really hope you enjoyed this episode. If you'd like to support what we're building here, please like and subscribe. It means a lot, and it really helps us out. And if you want to see even more content from me, make sure to follow me on Instagram. I'm going to be sharing a lot more on there. Thank you so much. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time.